Good idea. You can change the policy to reflect that. Are we ready?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Good evening. Today is the regular selectmen's meeting, August 29th, 2013. We're going to start out with a public hearing for a liquor license renewal application for Uncle Kippy's. Everyone has a copy of the application. Is there anyone here from Uncle Kippy's establishment? Okay. I'll ask the members of the audience if anyone has any comment on this liquor license renewal. Hearing none, does anyone on the board have any comments? Okay.
I have one comment.
Okay.
There is a new handicap ramp that was installed a few months ago, which isn't shown on here, but goes from the front door and continues around the corner, which helps it meet code for the angle.
Yeah, but typically the diagram is where the alcohol is served.
It also says entrances and exits.
Okay. Okay. We'll ask him to add that on. Before he sends it into the state, just
Right.
so they will have it.
Yeah, there's not a reason not to.
Okay. All right. That we will, there should be mention in the policy about exactly what we want from diagrams.
It is under,
It says
it's
entrance,
on
but
there.
on the diagram it says entrance, but it doesn't show the ramp.
Okay.
It just shows the door, so depending on who's looking at that, it's filled out correctly.
Okay. When we do a review of the new policy, that should be one of the things that we review. Okay. There has been some change in state law regarding liquor license applications. So the town is going to institute a policy because there are more requirements per state of Maine. Okay, let's close the public hearing for the liquor license and open the selectmen's meeting.
I make a motion, we open the selectmen's meeting.
Second. Oh,
A motion we close.
second.
All in favor?
I make a motion to open.
Second.
Second, please.
All in favor? Okay,
I make a motion we sign warrant.
Well, you want to sign the application first?
Oh, okay.
so we,
I missed that on the agenda.
can I ask for a motion to sign
Warrant.
I make a
liquor
motion,
license?
I make a motion we sign the approval of the liquor license for Uncle Kippy.
Second.
All in favor? While that's going around, can we have a motion to approve the minutes of August 15th?
Those were going to be tabled because,
No, well, the
No.
minutes of the
Oh.
selectmen's meeting,
That's a regular
oh, that's right,
selectmen's
you're right.
meeting.
I make a motion we approve the minutes of the August 15th, 2013 meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
I make a motion to sign the warrant.
Second.
All in favor of signing the warrants?
I make a motion, we table accepting minutes of August 6th annual town election, the annual town meeting.
Second.
All in favor? And the reason we're tabling is because some of our members have not read those minutes.
business. Tabitha is here to discuss the school drainage issue.
I don't have any new information other than what I've presented to you guys in the past 2 meetings. So what I'm asking for, to refresh the public's memory, is to split the cost to connect the 2 catch basins that go across the road for the field to drain properly. I did talk to Hanscom, who's going to send a guy down, but I haven't got a final approval to say yes, we'll still honor that $4,000 quote. I don't see any reason for it to go up, and neither did Donnie, but he just wanted to come down and double check.
Did you find out who done that work originally?
Who did that work originally really doesn't matter at this point because it's past the statute of limitations. And in the early 90s, when the town updated their sewer system, there's no way to prove if the town didn't connect the field to that catch basin or the 2 catch basins, or if that's something that the school did originally. So it doesn't really play
Well, you
into.
would have to fix if something was paid for and done on a construction job, correct? I mean,
It was back in the 60s or 70s. There's no way of going back that far. Sorry.
that's fine, then.
No,
That's what I have from CES in their documents.
the sewer was put in the 90s.
Yeah, that, but there's no way to prove who didn't connect that. Whether the town didn't do it or whether the school didn't do it.
Well, if it's been work done down like 2 or 3 times in the last 4 or 5 years, and it wasn't any of those.
Not on the overhaul of the field, no, not that before.
Not that.
My opinion is the town should have connected that a long time ago, even when the sewer was being put in, and Ransdell did that job. And I really believe that they should have hooked those laterals up there. I talked with Donnie, and Donnie said that it's clear that it's not connected. They're both right there, but they are not connected together. So that would have solved the issue of the drainage way back then.
Not only just the field, but the parking lot. Because before we had the field updated, the parking lot overflowed as it was, without the field being tied in that catch basin because it can't handle the water.
There's one that's connected and one that's not, is that correct?
When the field work
There's
was
2, but one is
One on each
connected.
side.
on each side of the road, when the field work was done, Hanscom found that the piping that was there before for drainage of the field was not, it stopped right at the catch basin, there's no hole, it was never connected.
On both or one?
Just the one on the same side of the road. So Hanscom made that connect, and Travis Noyes suggested that that's what you do, based on emails that I had between Travis and John, and see if it could handle it. If it couldn't, to do the alternative and do the extra $4 grand to go across the road. And that's in the packet of information I gave you, that email.
I don't think there's any question. I think that the town should, you know,
And I'm not asking for the town to pay for all of it, and I appreciate you saying that, John, but this is what,
Well, I'm curious about the cost of it because from what the budget we approved for the school, and then there's $190,000 more from surplus that come out after the approved budget, the third budget, to come before us, not knowing where half of that money's going or what's being done with it. I know the town itself is pretty well strapped right now. We're in a position right now where we're flatlined everything, and we've got chewed at in different directions on trying to whittle the pencil a little bit in some different areas because we wanted to try to take away from everybody and not just, leave any prizes of that. And as far as my part's concerned, I think the school could easily afford to fix the problem at hand with the money that they have.
I understand that, and it is coming from taxpayers regardless of who pays for it.
Oh, that's
And I'm
true.
not arguing with that, but it's town property.
Yep.
It's not the school's complete responsibility to have to fix it. If there's a problem, we pay for the work, whatever, but if something happens because we don't know what the layout of this road is and things like that, and then we have to incur more costs, I just feel that the town should accept responsibility for half.
I don't
since
even,
it's on town property.
I don't even know why this is an issue to argue about. It's your children that are in that field down there. You want them to wear hip rubber boots to play soccer or whatever they do out there with the goose.
I ran through Shaman for years
well,
up there, it's all paper.
yeah,
But now
well,
I
so
know
did
it's a
I,
lot
Jim.
drier,
But
Joe.
you know what?
It's a good field now compared to what it was.
Well, it's still wet.
We do intend on doing further things throughout the years because CES suggested we do that on the backside of the fields of the swamp area. So it's not, it just seems like it's a waste of money if you don't do this. It's not gonna work properly if we don't take this step, plain and simple.
I walked down the field after it's rained, and then 24 hours later. And even though this pipe is not hooked up to the culvert, it does not seem to have an adverse effect on the field. The parking area seems to be a new issue now, and that's,
It's not a new issue, it's always been an issue.
well, no, it's just new in this conversation
No one's ever brought
about
it up,
the
no.
need to hook this up.
Yeah.
And I agree that it would be nice if we had the money. We don't. You do.
Yes.
If you need us to say it's okay to do it, we'll be more than happy to do that, but where do we get the money from? Where we
Currently,
can,
we're gonna have to use our surplus because a complaint was made on our audit not being done that was out of our hands, so where our
Which
state
year?
subsidy is being withheld.
Which year was the audit?
which year, what,
For
are
the-
you complaining about? Because you're going on your third.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, this year's is not due until December.
but that's not our responsibility, that's your guys'
Understand that.
responsibility
And
as
that's
boards
not-
that audited each
It's
and
not the
every
school's
year.
responsibility either,
That's-
actually it's the auditors, and it's nothing that we can do.
No, it's the school,
instead of
if
our
we
meetings.
didn't do what we needed to do.
You've got a surplus. and
Well,
if you
we
remember-
also have a surplus.
Excuse me, I was, if you remember at the very first meeting,
Yeah.
which we reached out and invited the school board to attend to work on this together.
And we did?
Yes, you did. And I mentioned that
Yes.
when I asked, did you have an audit? No. Did you know if you had a surplus? Yes, and you told me it was a sizable amount. I said, you're lucky that you've got that because you're gonna need to work it to
And
work
I
it down.
actually emailed you the 2011 audit that was finalized. I did not have everybody's email, but I can go and pass that on to you. What we have in a surplus, if you come to our meetings, why we have that much is for predicted things that we plan on having to use it for. It's not because we just want it to be there for a rainy day.
How did it occur?
I can't tell you.
Line items that weren't spent, that you overtaxed the taxpayer. You had a balance.
Yeah, right.
We had a
Okay,
when it comes to
can I speak? Because we have a surplus. We do every year. We have,
IOUs.
we're supposed to. You
IOU,
need one.
okay.
And the school's supposed to keep so much as well.
Okay,
So that
let's
issue-
talk one at a time.
That issue to me is not even an issue. If this had been completed and done right, whenever it was done, if it was in the 60s, if it was before that, if it was in the 90s, if it was last year, it doesn't matter. It wasn't done right. Now, it costs $4,000 roughly to get it fixed, and I think we need to get it fixed. And I make a motion that we split the cost with the school to get the catch basin fixed.
I think at
I second it.
53% of a budget that the town has is going to the schools and the money that they have in their accounts. And as tight as we're strapped on this side of the hill, I think that they can handle it.
Well, if the budget committee's recommendations were taken into consideration and approved, our budget would have been more than what it is now.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second for the town and the school to split the cost on this particular item. Do we have any other discussion before we take a vote?
I just think it's something that the town should fess up to. It was the town's problem to begin with. And to not help that drainage on that system is like pouring bad money after good. We paid a lot of money for that field down there. And, you know, if we can't help them, then it's pretty sad.